roll of Mary and Ted and in Brad.
Yeah, it must have been for the Sunday night.
That's right.
Hey, Republicans are hoping to pick up a legislative win after the fiscal cliff deal. They're eyeing up the debt ceiling as the next arena for a spending battle.
The president, however, doesn't seem ready to let that happen. Ed Henry explains why.
Just hours after popping up in the White House briefing room to tout a big victory.
Tonight's agreement further reduces the deficit by raising $620 billion in revenue from the wealthiest households in America.
President Obama was at it again today with a campaign-style video sent out on Obama-Biden letterhead, even though the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the fiscal cliff deal will add nearly $4 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years.
And the agreement we reached this week will reduce the deficit even more by asking the wealthiest 2% of Americans to pay higher taxes for the first time in 2 decades.
White House officials note the CBO is comparing this deal to a scenario where all of the tax cuts expired and much more revenue came into the government, a scenario that was never likely. Yet Republicans stress the real problem is the president signing a deal that has almost no spending cuts.
The failure to step up and do the big thing when he could. He could have brought leadership to the table. He didn't. Now he's wanting to talk about cutting, spending. It's kind of a joke.
The president notes he tried to get a big deal with Speaker John Boehner that would have had $1.2 trillion in cuts, and the Republican walked away. Though the explosive debate over raising the debt ceiling in the weeks ahead gives Boehner and company a new opportunity to change the sour taste Republicans have over this weekend's deal.
It runs up the long-term debt. You people that are kicking the can, give me the can, because what we're going to do is draw a line in the sand and start demanding that you don't bring anything forward unless you have the spending cuts.
While the president pledged last night to be flexible on deficit reduction,
I am very open to compromise.
Just a minute after making that promise, Mr. Obama added he's not compromising on or even negotiating about the debt ceiling.
While I will negotiate over many things, I will not have another debate with this Congress over whether or not they should pay the bills that they've already racked up.
White House officials say the last debate over the debt ceiling was harmful to the economy. Republicans insist we can't afford to not have that debate when we're $16 trillion in debt. And they say this is the only weapon they have to force the president to cut more spending. At the White House, Ed Henry, Fox News.
The fiscal cliff deal did pull the country out from that fall or potential fall, but it left a few entanglements behind for